Welcome to Logan Fields Podcast. Today I have Chris Bolger, marriage and performance coach and author with me. Dude, thanks for coming today.
Dude, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. So we have Anastasia with us here. She's going to get us a drink to get started.
Good morning. Here I have a special coffee for you guys both to enjoy. This coffee is free of any chemicals and synthetics that is found in normal coffee. I'm going to pour some for you.
Nice.
This is 100% organic Arabica coffee. It's great on its own, but I also have some oat milk to accompany it. Would you guys prefer some oat milk with it?
I'll take some for sure.
Awesome.
I think he takes his black, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll take some.
That's the way to go. That's how you really taste the coffee. Is that good?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Smells good too.
Enjoy, and I'll be back with some delicious food.
Thank you. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Try it. Now, you drink this like every day.
Well, my nervous system can handle it, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Almost every day.
All right. There's so much to talk about with you. You were homeless for 2 years. Yes?
Yeah.
You own a world record for pull-ups.
I don't own it anymore, but I had two.
You had 2 world records for pull-ups. You are a certified hypnotist and a really successful, effective performance coach. And you've written how many books?
6, but who's counting?
Cool. Can we talk about the homelessness for a minute?
Sure.
That is pretty intense, right? Because studies are really clear that being homeless it has the same effect as blunt trauma brain damage on people.
I can see that.
Right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's not good for you. Can you talk about, just for a minute, what was it like, and then how did you get out of that situation?
So that was a situation where I had suffered from really bad anxiety and depression
Yeah.
most of my life up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kind of led me to that place. I just couldn't even help myself. Like therapy, medication, none of it was working.
Yeah.
And then you would jump around from different people's houses and try to just get by.
Sure.
I was
Yeah.
working at the time, but it was a commission-only job that I
Yeah.
dreamed of,
Yeah.
and I couldn't make a damn dollar because I couldn't speak to anybody.
Got it. Yeah, that's rough. How'd you get out of that in your mind? How'd you get out of that state?
Well,
And this is, by the way, this is one of the things you are like a real expert in is state changes, right?
yeah. So what changed everything was when I found hypnosis. That literally changed my life within 24 hours. Like,
Yeah.
it seems almost unreal, but it was really a manufactured miracle. So like, I had a friend let me borrow his laptop so I can find another job. And after looking for different jobs, I realized like, I don't want another job. I needed a job, but I don't want another job. What do I want? So I thought, you know what? Maybe I just need to just relax for the first time in my life. So I did. So I just simply watched a bunch of stupid talking cat videos on the internet. But by the 6th or 7th talking cat video, that's when I was like, how did I get here?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I thought back to a time when I was a kid where I was watching cartoons, and on the cartoon there was it was Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
And Bugs Bunny bought a hypnosis kit,
Okay.
and he hypnotized Elmer Fudd to go after Daffy Duck instead.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
And my parents, they're awesome. Like, they work their ass off. They've always have.
Mm.
And they were great parents too. I'm blessed to say I had a really great childhood.
Cool.
But my mom and dad would fight all the time over money and, having to pay for things. And it was constant. So me as a kid playing with my toys, I heard that in the other room and I thought, what if I could hypnotize them to stop fighting?
Mm.
And I get up and I go into the other room and I both put myself in between them and I say, you two are acting like a bunch of kids. I thought that was pretty funny as a kid.
Yeah.
I think it's funny
how
now
old
as
were
an
you
adult.
when this is happening?
I was 5.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as a kid, you think that was going to work or at least neutralize the moment for a second.
Yeah.
But, and again, this is nothing against my parents, but these are just people
Yeah.
that were stressed,
Uh-huh.
had 2 kids to take care of and try to figure things out. My dad worked 4 jobs. But when I said, you two are acting like a bunch of kids,
Mhm.
they both turned to me and they told me why they were right in their argument. And in that
When
moment,
you're 5.
yeah.
All
And
right.
they never did that before. It wasn't a household like they would tell the kids problems, nothing like that.
You had just totally interrupted the pattern
Yeah.
and they're reacting. Yeah, okay.
They had a stream of energy going back and forth, and I put myself right in the middle of it,
Right.
which I shouldn't have done, but
You were
I'm
5. So,
Right.
yeah.
So they both turned to me and told me why they were right in their argument.
Uh-huh.
And in that moment, this is called imprinting, by the way. In that moment, my brain learned
Yeah.
that this is how I need to behave.
Like what? Justifying the way you were behaving or the way your parents were behaving is how you should behave.
The way my parents were behaving.
Was imprinted.
Their frame
Yeah.
imprinted onto my very weak frame.
Yeah.
And then
All right.
once you're imprinted, and this is what I learned out of being homeless, once you're imprinted,
Yeah.
is that imprinting stays there for life until it's replaced with something else. So for example, side note, you know when people say you need to unlearn things?
Yes.
Yeah, that's total bullshit.
Okay.
And the reason why is your brain will not unlearn something. It's too much. It's for survival purposes, your brain will never forget anything. Like what an evolutionary disadvantage that would be if we could just like trip over a rock and then just unlearn math.
Okay.
Right? So even the bad stuff, the brain never forgets
Yeah.
because it might need it in the future for something else.
Yes.
That pattern kept you safe at one point.
Yeah.
Why would it throw away a perfectly good pattern that kept it safe?
Mm-hmm.
It might just not keep you safe anymore, but that's why it needs to be replaced. So
Is replace the same thing as reframed?
no.
Okay. Cool.
Well, yes and no. Part of it has to be reframed, but then it has to get into your unconscious. It can't just be said once and then like, oh, I got it.
Okay, can we use exactly what you're talking about as an example? So you got between your parents, they put that energy at you, you're 5 years old, it imprints on you. What did you replace?
So nothing got replaced for years.
Yeah.
And there I was on an armchair between two houses
Yeah.
with my friend's laptop, trying to find a job to simply pay for food.
Yes.
I was fully capable. I was willing. I was smart. I was charismatic.
Yeah.
I was respectful to people. Yeah, I was not on drugs. I was not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Never touched drugs or anything like that in my life.
Mm.
So I had the best chance of being successful.
Yeah.
I was All-American in 4 different weightlifting categories. I was a regional champion for my wrestling team. I was the captain of the wrestling team. I played guitar in a band. I had a girlfriend. I had a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
So on the outside, it looked like everything was fine. But the truth is, it doesn't like, and we see this all the time, people that look like they have their shit together,
Yeah.
but then deep down, they're fighting something.
Yes.
What they're fighting is an imprinting.
Okay.
People could say, oh, they're fighting, the story in their head. The story was caused from an imprinting. So there I was in 16, 17, and 18 years old, trying to make life work and sometimes having to sleep on a park bench. And no matter what I did, no matter how much I knew, no matter how much I can muscle the situation, it wouldn't stick. Nothing I made would last. So what changed everything was hypnosis.
Yeah.
So there I was on this armchair looking through the 6 or 7 talking cat video. And that's when I thought back to that story when I was a kid, watching Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, oh, that's why I'm overworked, underpaid, underappreciated,
Yeah.
fighting with my girlfriend all the time.
Mm.
So that night I typed in hypnosis. By the way, my whole life, my mom would tell me like hypnosis isn't real.
Yeah.
When I was like 3, 4 years old, I wanted to be a magician.
Yeah.
But then I found out that there's a trick behind magic. There's no real magic.
Right.
When I saw hypnosis, I thought that's the real magic.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, since I was a kid, every year for Christmas, I would ask for a hypnosis kit, a
Yeah.
hypnosis program, a hypnosis book, just a hypnosis something.
Yeah.
I got a magic kit when I was a kid. That was awesome.
Uh-huh.
But it was disappointing when you find out the trick. So I figured if there's a magic kit, there must be a hypnosis kit as well.
Yeah.
But every year my mom was like, Chris, it's not real. Hypnosis is not real. But every year I'd be like, well, maybe next year. Maybe it's real next year.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to give up on it. I just couldn't shake it my whole life.
Yeah.
Years later, I just kind of forgot about it, I guess.
Mhm.
But on that armchair, after the 6 or 7 talking cat video, I suddenly remembered.
Yeah.
So I typed in hypnosis. I felt like I had nothing to lose. In fact, it felt kind of wrong to simply give myself a minute to just ask myself, what do I want?
Yeah.
I never in my life wasted time.
Mm.
I never had a lazy moment.
Mm-hmm.
I've had unproductive moments, but I
Yeah.
had no moment where I was just sitting and just being.
Yeah.
So I type in hypnosis, and I find page after page, video after video, person after person that knows hypnosis. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
It's out there.
It's real all of a sudden?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You mean to me, I was like, my belief in hypnosis made hypnosis real. Oh my God, this is a miracle.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I downloaded Skype. I figured out what Skype was.
Okay.
This is like over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I figured out what Skype was. I downloaded Skype on my friend's computer, and I called people all around the world. I called Gil in Israel. I called Leo in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I called Anthony in New Zealand, in the UK. He was in the UK. I called Nathan in the UK.
Yeah.
I called Gabe in Toronto, and I called them as their time zones were waking up. I stayed up from 9 p.m. on a Saturday,
Mhm.
9 p.m. to 9 a.m., wide awake. Like my eyes were bulging out of my head.
Yeah.
I was fixated. And I was like, there's no way this is real. I had a zest for life that came back to me just because a childhood dream became real. So, and these people in this community were so nice and they were so helpful.
Yeah.
They were cool with sharing with me how to do hypnosis. Some people hypnotized me,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't think it worked.
When you're going through this initially, what are people hypnotizing you for? So the thing is, people watching this, they're thinking of stage tricks, which I've seen you do, right? Where you make somebody forget their name or whatever. What were they doing to you in your first experiences?
So they were doing things like help me relax, like actually, like mentally and physically fully relax.
Yeah.
That was actually huge.
Mm.
My body's never actually did that. They'd never done that up until that point.
Yeah.
Then they would do things like give me confidence.
Mm.
They would take away the anxiety and depression. They would make me more creative. They'd make me more inspired. And it was like things that if we can snap our fingers and feel,
Mm.
that's what hypnosis does. And yeah, hypnosis has a bad rap because, the 1950s style of hypnosis is like stage. It gets lumped in with magic. But here's the thing. Hypnosis is how do I put this? It's the oldest and first form of medicine ever created.
All right. Interesting.
Like, in like the RX symbol
Yeah.
or like the hospital symbol, there's like the 2 snakes going up the,
Yeah. The
the
serpent
caduceus.
on the staff. Yeah.
yeah. Those are hypnotized snakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's where that comes from.
Interesting.
So, and that's been around for that was the basis of all medicine. And it still is a symbol of it. So the cool thing about it is that your brain has some really cool phenomenon,
Mhm.
meaning like science can't figure it out.
Yeah. Sure.
All they know is that it happens.
Right.
And with hypnosis, you can replace those imprintings I mentioned before
Mm-hmm.
with new imprintings and live a totally different life afterwards from that moment on in a matter of a few minutes.
Can you give me an example? So to be clear, you're not saying that you reframe the thing and that you make it mean something different. That I understand fairly well, although easier said than done. But you're saying something a bit more robust. You're saying replace it.
Yeah. So think of this. When you were a kid, right? Let's say if somebody has a fear of dogs.
Yeah.
When they were a kid, let's say when they were 5,
Yeah.
a dog ran up to them. They
Yeah.
saw a fluffy animal.
Uh-huh.
They heard panting of the breath.
Yeah.
And then they heard growling and barking.
Mm.
And then they felt fangs on their arm.
Yeah.
They felt hot breath and saliva on their arm. And they felt like a braise of like the fur of the dog. And then they felt extreme fear at the exact same time.
Yes.
And in that moment, their brain learned that dogs are dangerous.
Okay.
And that gets stored deep into their unconscious mind because at this point, like it needs to.
Yes.
For survival purposes, why would you be cute and friendly with something that attacks you like that?
Yes, right.
That's all the brain knows.
Yeah.
So what happens is the idea, you get this little card, imagine. You have this idea of a dog, and then you have a value put on it. And the value is like extreme fear. And then that gets put into your unlimited library of unconscious thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time you see a dog, your brain goes to that library and goes, oh, that's a dog. And the value on that is that we are terrified and we are extremely terrified of dogs. And with that value, the unconscious mind produces feelings of extreme terror. And that's when you start having fight or flight, racing heart rate, aversion.
Mm-hmm.
So with hypnosis, again, hypnosis, this carnival trick that's portrayed to be,
mm-hmm.
you can go into someone's unconscious mind, take the thought of the dog, take the value of extreme terror off the idea of a dog and replace it with a new value. Maybe relaxation, maybe joy. Like my dog in real life is terrifying looking, but he's the sweetest dude in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see him, I get so joyful. Even if I see him on my camera phone, I'm like, oh, he's so adorable.
Mm-hmm.
When I take him to a cafe or to the gym, once in a while, someone sees him and gets terrified right away.
Yeah.
That's somebody who has the value of fight or flight on their little thought card of what a dog is.
Right.
So in hypnosis, again, you can replace the value, put the new value on the card, on the thought of a dog, put it back into the library of the unconscious mind,
mm-hmm.
and then wake the person up. And now the next time they see a dog, their brain will look back into that library, pull the card that has the word dog on it, and say, oh, that is a dog, and we are very relaxed and we're joyful when we see it. And you'll start feeling feelings of joy without you having to do anything at all. That's the phenomenon of hypnosis.
Okay, so, but how do you implant that?
Yeah. So hypnosis essentially is, imagine you have three minds.
Okay.
You have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and an unconscious mind.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right.
Let's say I'm the conscious mind.
Yeah.
This is the subconscious mind.
Okay.
And this is the unconscious mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So information comes in this way.
Yeah.
I see it first as a conscious mind. I'm the filter. I am 10% of what the brain is capable of doing.
Oh, the subconscious is not the filter.
No.
All right. Okay.
The conscious mind is. When you see a billboard for buying a Whopper from
Yeah.
Burger King and you say no, even if you're hungry,
Yeah.
that's your conscious mind saying that.
Okay.
So the conscious mind stops all kinds of bad suggestions from getting in. Because once it gets even to this guy, you even get to the subconscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to make its way into your unconscious mind.
Okay.
You start having feelings about the thoughts at this level,
Yeah.
at the subconscious
All
level.
right.
So all we need to do is just get past the conscious mind. So with hypnosis, what it is it just moves the conscious mind out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there. It just goes out to lunch. It's like the guardian at the gate. So once the guardian at the gate goes out to lunch, the
Yeah.
hypnotist can now go in and speak directly to the subconscious.
All right.
And whatever you say to the subconscious, if I said, feel this, feel that, you would then start to feel it. This is more like the librarian. Like, let's say the example of the dog. Thought comes in.
Yeah.
Okay. The conscious mind goes to the subconscious mind
Mm-hmm.
and it goes way back into that library and it pulls the card of the dog out with the value and it brings it up and it starts to feel things.
Okay.
And then it tells your conscious mind, hey, you need to think about like really scary thoughts right now. Think of worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And that's when you're like, get that dog away from me. I was in a cafe. This was 2 weeks ago. Hilarious. I take that my dog, by the way, my dog is a highly trained police dog.
Right.
Like he is smarter than a 14-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He knows like hundreds and hundreds of words.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go to cafes, of course I have him trained to go into a cafe and sit and be nice and be, pleasant to everyone, not bark and not be mean. Of course, he stands right next to me, just waiting for his pup cup. So he's like a child.
Yeah.
It's adorable. But I saw a woman there for the first time, and across the room, she goes, "You let that beast in here?"
She said that.
And I look at her and I was like, she seems more violent than my dog does.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that's somebody who is, again, her subconscious mind reached back there to the library
Yeah.
and pulled the card of dog and saw that she saw a beast. She saw something that wasn't a dog,
Yeah.
something way worse.
Uh-huh. Right.
She obviously had an experience or an imprinting that caused that to happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of what hypnosis is. It's removing the conscious mind, and the hypnotist steps in and goes back here altogether.
Okay.
We speak to this,
Yeah.
the subconscious mind, and if we need to, we can go a little deeper and get to the unconscious mind as well.
Interesting.
And from there, it's kind of like a control panel of all your thoughts and feelings. And again, you're still in complete control. When you're under hypnosis, you're still in complete control.
What do you, meaning you can exit if you want to?
Yeah, anytime you want.
Okay.
Anytime. And that's another big misconception. There's a bunch of misconceptions because of the 1950s style of hypnosis.
Yeah.
People lump that into a category of like, oh, that's entertainment. But it's
Sure.
also medicine
Yeah.
to some.
Can you hypnotize yourself?
Actually, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So when a hypnotist is hypnotizing somebody, they're not doing anything, they're just a guide. So hypnosis is a naturally occurring state, which means like if I get you to be bored, if I get you to do something repetitive, if I get you to do something that's boring, that's repetitive, or if I fixate your mind on something, either a thought or just a staring at a point on the wall, your brain will naturally go into hypnosis. There's signs that you will produce that lets me know as a hypnotist that you're going into hypnosis and now you're more suggestible.
Can you maybe define hypnosis? And so that we're not thinking of different things.
Yeah, so hypnosis is a naturally occurring state of heightened suggestibility.
Okay.
That's essentially it.
Got it.
And there's like 45 other definitions of it that make it way more complicated, but that's essentially it.
Okay.
You're just more suggestible. The same way when you're a little bit drunk at a party and your friend says to jump on the table and dance.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, yeah, sure, why not? And then you do it. But if if I asked you to do it right now, you'd be like, nah, go F yourself, Chris. Like,
right. Yeah.
This is my podcast.
Yeah.
Your conscious mind would stop that behavior.
Yes.
But when you're a little bit buzzed, the conscious mind is a little bit out of the way.
Yeah. Interesting.
And now someone can say, hey, you should do this. And now it's like, you know what?
I should.
Yeah, I should for the sake of, because you brought it up.
Yeah.
And that's hypnosis.
What are there things that are off limit that hypnosis doesn't work for? So for example, if I'm sad, can I hypnotize myself out of being sad?
It depends.
Or depressed or like that kind of thing. It depends.
It depends. Now, I want to say this too. Hypnosis is a tool. It's just a tool.
Yeah.
So when I learned hypnosis, it was like the tool. I was like, oh my God, this is a hammer. I'm going to build so many houses with this one hammer.
Yeah.
But there's many tools you need to do to build a properly working house.
Cool. Okay.
So, just like NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which is like a lighter state of hypnosis, more or less. That has like a whole bunch of tools.
Yeah.
But nobody shows you how to actually use them. There's no actual blueprint to build a house with those tools. That's why you have a bunch of NLP and hypnosis practitioners all over the place, and there's not many of them that are known for anything. In fact, I've seen so many hypnotists come and go in the space, like the big ones, the big famous ones. And really, it's like they're just like, they're preying on people that don't know what it is. So they're just rehashing the same thing year after year after year, and there's no difference in it.
Okay.
So I say this because it is a tool, but there's a bigger holistic approach to helping somebody change, if that's the main topic. If the main topic is helping someone go from depressed to no longer depressed, well, there's a lot of parts to that. Hypnosis is a great tool that can help in some situations, but there's other situations that require other tools that can help build that house. For example, let's say a human being is sad, borderline depressed.
Yeah.
What makes somebody depressed can be a multitude of different things. And one of the most losing approaches ever is to figure out why this person is the way they are. Why are you depressed? Why are you sad?
Yeah.
That is a story. That's a game that goes in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
because it's unknowable.
you can know it.
Okay.
You can, like, how many people have you met that know their traumas, yet they're still affected by their traumas?
Yeah, sure.
Tons of them. In fact, that's like the biggest thing. My trauma, my trauma, my trauma.
I think I kind of wonder if people improperly ascribe things though.
What do you mean?
Meaning they're like, well, I have trust issues because of X. Right?
Exactly.
And it's like, well, maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe that's not the reason, or it's not the only reason.
There's that.
Yeah.
And there's also the fact that if that is true, because sometimes it is that one thing that caused a massive generalization. So for example, if a girl says, I was heartbroken when I was 15 and now I hate men.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's not a thing just for women. I mean, men have that too.
Yes.
Those are biases.
Yeah.
Fundamental attribution error bias.
Cool. Yeah.
That's a big reason why marriages fail. And people that are together for a long time develop hatred towards each other.
Uh-huh.
There are these biases. And it makes people's character look very black and white, like either a hero or a villain.
Yeah.
Perfect example is like, ask anybody what do they think of Trump.
He's either a hero or a villain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a bias. Anyone who says like, like this person's amazing.
Yeah.
This person's horrendous. That person who says that is controlled by a very ancient, simplistic, reptilian part of their brain. They're not even the ones that did that.
Interesting. That makes sense.
So
on that, I do want to get back to the track we were on, but that's really interesting. Do you think then if I feel, or if somebody feels that somebody, particularly let's say in your life, is a straight up hero or a straight up villain, am I probably interacting with that relationship in a bad way?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. What a great guiding thought.
You know, there's a story I heard. It was a meme, but it was so true. It was hilarious. It was saying how, like, when you're a kid and there's a kid in your school, like let's say your first grade, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you ever notice that when you hate someone, everything they do confirms why you hate them.
Right.
Like, look at little Susie over there, eating her cookies, drinking her juice box, like she fucking owns the place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's like, you can't win, you know?
I think that's a really valuable thing for people to keep in mind. Like, if you have somebody in your life that is a total hero or a total villain, you are the problem at the moment.
Yeah.
The way you're interacting with the relationship is going to be bad for you.
Yeah. That's either going to be massively depressing to be around somebody like that, or it's going to be very heartbreaking when you're faced with seeing other parts of that person's character that doesn't line up with what you expected of them.
Yeah, well, and then you also strip that relationship, whether villain or hero, of nuance, which is going to be problematic in some way.
You know the phrase "never meet your heroes."
Yeah, that's why.
That's why.
That's why.
You develop a bias of them, and then when you meet them, they're nothing like what we think about in our heads.
Yeah.
I remember I had a mentor back in 2012, and this guy is the most persuasive human being on the freaking planet. He still is. Like, and you probably don't even know his name, but he is the most, genius. I've spent 4 years just memorizing every video he ever put out. And these videos like 20, 30, 40 minutes long. I memorize every video. And I listened to it. I was like, what makes this guy so freaking influential? Like, I just feel things when he speaks. But he's speaking about packing a backpack.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Interesting.
And I watched every one of his videos, and then I paid him a whole bunch of money, flew to California to ask him one question. And the question was a 5-minute question, because I want to make sure I didn't miss the right answer. Yeah. And it took me, I had to sit there and listen for 8 days, 15-hour days in his mastermind, which is, again, very intensive. But on the 8th day, I got to ask a question. Yeah. And I got lucky because it was questions in a hat, and he would answer 5 questions out of 50.
Wow. Okay.
And mine came up first.
Nice.
And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Yes. So I said, And this was back in 2015, I think, 11 years ago. And I said, I watched all your videos on repeat. I figured out that the reason why you're so successful with influencing people is your tonality. And then I said, here's what I found in your patterns of tonality. I found that in some videos on certain contexts, you speak like this. In other contexts, you speak like this, which created 7 specific presets of tonality that I've seen you do that have made me feel all kinds of different things watching your videos, which means everyone else feels the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, my question is it a preset? Is it this? Or are you just on the fly, whatever? And he was just like, that was the best question that anyone has ever asked me.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. The answer is sure. He's like, you read into that way more than I ever have.
Meaning he was doing it, but he didn't necessarily realize he was doing it.
He didn't realize that he had his own presets.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was building out a psychological system that I thought this would be separate from.
Yeah.
But it turned out to coincide and synergistically mix together with the tools I was creating.
Yeah.
So we'll talk, I want to mention that in a second because that ties into your question about how do you help someone who is sad or in a state of mind that's not too well.
Yeah.
And where does hypnosis fall short?
Yeah.
Because it's a tool. So I've seen that gap for 20 years. How is it that this tool can do so much, but then for some people it doesn't do as much? And I became fixated on that. So here I am, years later, asking this mentor about his tonality. And he was like, if you wrote a book on tonality, I would buy it. He's like, I would learn something from you at this point. Because I get obsessive. I get super intense obsessive over a topic because I love it, not for no other reason. Like, I've pulled so many all-nighters learning my craft. Not because I had to, I just loved it.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I was blessed for many years of not having a relationship or not having a family, let's put it that way, so that I can just work my ass off.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Like, think about this. Imagine your childhood passion. You get to do that.
Right. Without distraction.
And you get to do it your way.
Yeah.
Man, I love it. I still love it. It's transformed into different things, but it's still the same passion. I'm still connected to the same passion that hypnosis started for me when I was like 5.
Yeah. Now it's obviously broadened. You're doing like that, like you're saying, that's a tool and you're doing full performance. Is there like a short hypnosis exercise that can help people up level?
Oh yeah.
Could we do one?
We can do it right now.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty quick.
What will it do?
It will help you. It's called going meta.
Okay.
Going meta means you're going to step outside yourself and develop different opinions about what you're experiencing. And what that does is it's going to create some emotional distance to what you're feeling and thinking so that you can manage it, also sometimes control it.
Yeah.
And also sometimes choose to not feel it. And that lets you perform better. So for example, I've worked with some people that I can't mention because they run countries and they also are professionals in a sport. And some of them, the things we worked on, they rather not mention. Trust me, I totally get it.
Yeah.
It would make me a multimillionaire if I can say their names, but I can't say that.
I know who you're talking about too, because you told me, but I get it.
Yeah. So there's certain things that like they need to perform under massive pressure.
Yeah, right.
Pressure that most people can't fathom.
Right.
Even I'm sometimes like, holy crap. Like,
whew,
more power to you. To do that, sometimes you don't have an hour of a session to get them into the right state of mind. You need to have something that's anchored and quick. So this is something that when we do this right now, it may produce profound effects. It may produce subtle effects as well. It's all beneficial. When people work with me, I have this anchored deeply. So this 3 to 4 minutes that we're about to do for them, like if they're going to be watching this podcast, I'm sure I'll send it to them. And when they hear this part, it's going to be guaranteed profound for them because they're so dialed in with this. I anchor this deeply into them so that when they need it, it only takes them 3 minutes to get into a peak state. Nice and easy. They go into if they're in a meeting, they use the bathroom and they come out, they're different.
Yeah.
And now they can perform and actually create best case scenario.
Okay.
Imagine if you can go into every interaction and get best case scenario every time.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great.
It sounds great if it happens even one time.
Yes.
Now imagine like over the course of 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The trajectory is absolutely insane. What happens after a year of that?
Mm-hmm.
Most people, no one actually can really fathom what that looks like.
Right.
That level of progress in life is literally parabolic. When I learned hypnosis, which I didn't finish telling you about, but when I first learned hypnosis and used it on myself,
Mm-hmm.
and people did it to me back in the day on Skype,
Mm-hmm.
that next morning I made $11,000 in sales.
Oh, damn.
I never made more than 100 in sales before that.
Yeah. $100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Like,
So that was a 100x jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me clarify too. When I was not doing too well in life, when I was a teenager dealing with homelessness,
Yeah.
my profit in like my 12-hour days, you know, my profit was every month
What?
$12.50.
Wow.
And that's a story. This is a story I don't normally tell because it was rough, but you would think that for marketing purposes, telling rough stories would get people interested.
Mm.
No one cares.
That's funny. Really?
You know why?
Why?
Because it's too big of a pain to relate to.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
People love the story about me quitting a 6-figure job and starting my business. They love that because they can relate to that. But when it comes to the homeless story, most people are like, yikes, that's rough. Can't relate.
You know, that's really interesting. Our friend Emily was stuck in Mexico during this cartel war.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday. She got home safe yesterday. And I was telling somebody else about it. And this girl I was talking to, telling her about Emily, was like, hey, can we stop talking about this?
Huh.
Yeah, because
you're essentially like, hey, my friend is in a life or death situation right now.
Yeah, it was too intense for her. And she wanted to off ramp. So I get that it's interesting how people react. Yeah, and how they don't want to. It's not that they can't relate, but a lot of people, they're just not willing to. It's too painful for them. So that's interesting that the intensity of being like, oh man, I'm running a business and sometimes it was hard to make payroll. People can live with that. But when you're like, I was homeless and I slept on an armchair in an alleyway.
Yeah.
They're like,
And if it was like drugs and alcohol related,
yeah,
they can be like, oh man. But I'm like, no, I was sober the whole time.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And they're like, wait, what? How does that happen? It's like, well, anxiety and depression happen.
Yeah.
That shit gets crazy.
Yeah, it's still like a mental, physical thing. Okay.
Well,
so
actually, let me back that up
Yeah.
with how that happens, because that's really interesting how this happens. This happened to me, and it's still fascinating.
yeah.
I mentioned the fundamental attribution error bias, which is like, one person breaks your heart, and then when you grow up, like, now I hate all men, right? Like the biases people have.
Yeah.
Imprinting.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I was imprinted. Imprinting across the board, whether it's like a heartbreak, a traumatic experience, or like some anxiety and depression, some like a hatred towards a certain group of people and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a bias, and biases and imprinting, they generalize, which means they slowly take over other parts of your life. That's how somebody can have one specific experience with one specific person. And then years later, that person now hates an entire group of people, like all men or all women or all of a certain nationality.
Yeah.
That's how that happens. It starts with one instance, and then it goes and not managed. Here's the thing. I've worked with so many people that claim they've done everything that they can to solve whatever problem they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, especially, it's like with marriages. I can't tell you how many people really believe they've tried everything, but yet here they are, not just dealing with a situation with one person, but with like, they see everybody who looks like that person
Yeah.
also has the same issue.
Yeah.
That shows me that they actually haven't managed anything. They might have tried, but did they actually do anything productive or effective for it? Not even close. And anxiety and depression, what that goes into, and this is one of my professors in university, he taught me this. He's a genius. That's Dr. Foreman. He's awesome. Is that when things generalize, they can get to the point of agoraphobia. Where like, you're just afraid to leave the house.
Yeah.
And what happens when you're houseless?
Right.
Where do you go then?
Yeah.
I was debilitated.
Yeah.
And hypnosis really was at that time just a miracle.
It's really interesting. It's going to be interesting to hear what people experience from this. I want to do this exercise, and then we're running the clock out fast. So I want to do this, and then I want to talk about the marriage stuff a little bit before we do rapid fire questions. All right, let's do the exercise.
Sure. Okay. So I want you to, and if you're listening while driving, pull over. Like, don't do this while driving. Because even if you think that this is not going to affect you, it's pretty powerful stuff. And driving is the one place it's dangerous.
All right.
So just pull over. There's a thing called collateral hypnosis, which is like, if I'm going to hypnotize you and someone else hears it, it could affect them as well.
Yeah.
Which is another cool technique I use.
So if you're driving, pause this.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay. So now, you're sitting there in that chair right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can feel where the chair meets your body.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like support on your back right now?
No.
No? So sit back, relax.
All right.
And close your eyes for a second. And I want you to see the back of your eyelids. And just be aware of the breath that's going in through your nose and out of your nose. And be aware that it's slightly colder air entering the nose and slightly warmer air leaving the nose. And you can now be aware of other things like where the chair meets your body and how your back is being supported by the chair and how one hand has a slightly different temperature than the other hand. And for the rest of the next 2 to 3 minutes, just imagine inhaling peace, exhaling tension, like a puff of beautiful blue air going into the nose and some green air coming out of the nose. Inhaling peace, exhaling tension. Now, right now, you are associated. You're in your body, which means you can feel things deeper. Now, I want you to step outside your body, about 5 or 6 feet, and look at yourself sitting there in the chair with your eyes closed. And now you're dissociated. You're outside your body. And now make another version of you from that 5 or 6 feet away. And put that version in the corner of the ceiling in the room. Just stuck or hanging out in the corner of the ceiling, looking down at the person who's 5 or 6 feet away from you, who is currently looking at you. And now from that top corner of the ceiling, make another version of you and put that one of you on the roof of the building or the house you're in. And they're looking down at the version of you who's in the corner of the room on the ceiling. And they're looking at the version of you who is 5 or 6 feet away from you. And the person who's 5 or 6 feet away from you, they have an opinion about you. Just observing you. And the version of you who's in this corner of the ceiling, they have a different opinion because they see things differently over there. And there's a version of you on the roof right now, looking down at all the other versions of you. Just wondering like, hey, what's going on over there? And now put another version of you across the street or down the road. And they can barely see what's going on up there. Not only did you go meta just now, but you just made multiple identities of yourself very easily. And because you've done this, it shows that you can change your thoughts and your perception of things. And from that place that's way down the street or way across the street, that version of you, looking at you in the chair from way over there, what advice can you give to that version of you? Just from a very logical, drive-by position. And now that person who's down the street or down the road can now levitate into the version of you who's on the roof. And that version on the roof can now levitate back into the room and absorb into the person who's in the corner of the ceiling. And the version of you in the ceiling can absorb into the person who's 5 or 6 feet away from you. With this new knowledge, this new advice that one of you already gave. And now you can step back into your body now. And remember what it feels like to breathe in peace and exhale tension. As you feel the back of the chair, you see the back of your eyelids. You feel the temperature difference on one hand versus the other. And you can open your eyes now.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
You feel like there's a shift in the room now, right?
Yeah. I'm way more relaxed for sure, too. Yeah, that's really interesting. And that's something you can do to yourself, or that you would want like a guided audio for?
So I have a guided audio for that.
Yeah, cool. Are you willing to send a link that we can link?
Sure.
For that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, and does it make sense to go into it with knowing what advice you're going to give to yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. What timing?
Oh, perfect.
Hello, I've got some delicious fruits to accompany your coffee.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. That ran so quick. Let's try a bite of this together. Oh, these are like really nice and cold. These are jumbo blueberries too.
Oh my God. Wow. That is the most blueberriest blueberry
Yeah, it's really good.
I've ever had in my life.
Mm-hmm. So for a minute, before we do rapid fire questions, we're breaking the rules just for a minute. Talk about hypnosis is actually not your main thing. I know we talked mainly about that. It's very interesting. You gave people a tool that they can use. Your main focus right now is saving millionaire marriages.
Yeah. So hypnosis was a great tool, but again, it was like anything else. I saw so many flaws.
Yeah.
And over the years, I developed this thing called the perception process.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of a 49-factor assessment, more or less.
Right.
That helps people figure out how they unconsciously behave. And how you unconsciously behave and how you process information in the world and how you operate in the world.
Mm-hmm.
All struggle across any mental or emotional block, especially in relationship.
Yeah.
Comes down to you're doing things that's not in the way that you naturally process.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's struggle in that area.
Yeah.
Sometimes knowing just like 3 or 4 of how you, like 3 or 4 factors of how you process is enough to drastically change someone's life immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't require hypnosis at all.
Yeah.
That's something where if I said it to you, if I said how you process, you'd have a spark in you and you'd be like, I can do that now.
Yeah.
So usually people that are trying to do hard things, suddenly those hard things become easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I broke 2 of the Guinness World Records.
Yeah.
It was difficult. Of course it was difficult. It was damn near impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But it took me 3 months to break it because of the mindset I had towards it. When I first heard of it, I was like, there's no way I can ever do this. And within a half an hour, I reframed it. I reprocessed it. And that's when I was like, I could so do this.
Yeah.
I had you wouldn't believe how many people doubted me. It was insane. Rightfully so, you know? I mean, I had friends, family that were like, what are you doing, Chris? What are you trying to do? And I'm like, how do you not see it like I see it? I'm like, I have 1,000% certainty I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And then not only did I do it once, I did it twice because the first time I did it, the person recording the camera cut away from the scene and they had their thumb over the lens. So that wasn't acceptable to Guinness World Records.
Oh, no.
So the second time I did it, I had to do it 2 weeks later. My elbows were destroyed.
Yeah.
And I had food poisoning that one morning. So I couldn't eat the night before or the day of. I was puking my brains out. And then oh man, it was 10 times harder the second time around.
Mm-hmm.
But because of some little audios I made back then,
Yeah.
made it really easy to just get it done.
That's awesome. Dude, we could really have a 4-hour podcast here, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to end with rapid fire questions. We got to eat while we do it. Don't stop eating. That's one of the tricks.
Oh my God.
Are you ready for me?
Yes.
Why millionaire marriages? Why are you trying to save high income marriages?
They have bigger risks.
Yeah.
They have bigger risks. On top of that, marriage counseling is very different for them. So when you're a blue collar guy or you don't have as many assets, the amount of risk that you take on is very different.
Mm.
Therefore, the advice you should get for your marriage has to be very different as well.
Yeah.
So a good example is like if a regular guy goes to therapy and says like, hey, talk about your emotions more.
Yeah. Right.
Listen more.
Uh-huh.
That works great. Like YouTube videos and Instagram stories of like the emotional music and that stuff works for them. Be the man that she needs you to be. All right, cool. That's what those men need to learn. How to romanticize emotions and things like that and talk about their emotions more. And trudge through it together over the course of years.
Uh-huh.
I see that all the time. That's why I started my thing, because marriage programs out there, they're like that.
Yeah. They
Like
are.
year-long coaching programs.
Mhm.
No need for that.
Right.
When you own a business, a 7-figure or 8-figure business,
Yeah.
you can't use that same advice for many different reasons. One, you don't have the bandwidth for that. Two, if you screw this up or you don't get things fixed as fast as you possibly can,
Mhm.
you risk a divorce.
Yeah.
You risk your kids being split. You risk getting 20, 30, 40 years of therapy bills from your kids,
Mhm.
from the trauma they're going to experience.
Yeah.
You're going to have people taking your assets, people threatening to take your assets.
Mhm.
That's time away from the business.
Yeah.
Income will take a hit. Decisions you make in other parts of your life will take a hit. Your cortisol levels and the stress you experience in one area of your life will generalize over other areas.
Mm-hmm.
So you need answers fast. You need to look at it differently.
Mm-hmm.
You need to create systems in the relationship.
Yeah.
That are very personal systems. They're not robotic,
Sure.
but it does get you the outcome much faster and in the way that you need it to, because that's what you started in the first place. Like you started building your life as like a vision of how you want your relationship and how you want your business.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the kind of person that not only do you need to have it done quickly and effectively, but that's the way you also prefer.
Yes. Okay. I have a few more for you. Short answers on the last ones here, if you can. I'm asking kind of loaded questions, to be fair. Why are high performance men often so bad at relationships?
Because the thing that got them where they're at in life
Yeah.
is the thing that they apply to their relationship.
Mm,
But that's not the thing that makes the relationship thrive.
right.
The thing I say is the thing that you're the best at
Yeah.
is the thing that you're the worst at when your best doesn't apply.
Oh, that's really interesting.
So people will double down on being the impatient guy
Mhm.
because being impatient in real estate pushes deals through.
Yes.
And that's how they made their millions. I've dealt with that. I can't tell you how many times.
Right. Well, and if you're really high performance, that is typically a little antithetical to like lightness and playfulness, which is really important when you're dealing with a woman.
Exactly.
Right. So if you're
So let's say like,
Yeah.
if it's a good example, again, juxtaposing two different people, right?
yeah.
When you're a blue collar average guy,
Mhm.
you got no big assets going on, you have time.
Yeah.
You don't have much, therefore she doesn't have much.
Mhm.
So she's not as fast to leaving you because there's no incentive for her to leave you faster. She needs to get her life in order before she leaves you, which is another big thing that women go through. Women try to get a job, try to get money to support themselves so they can leave the relationship.
Yeah. Yep.
But there's so little money, there's so little assets between the couple
Mm-hmm.
that she now moves differently.
Yeah.
So, what was the?
No, you answered the question. I'm gonna keep going. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day?
Just one.
Just one. That's
Yeah,
it.
I enjoy the shit out of it.
Do you do other caffeine?
No.
So you're only doing like something like 80, 100 milligrams of caffeine a day.
Maybe 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing so much more than that. What's your honorary black belt for?
Oh, so back in 2019, I did a tour of different speaking events.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my clients flew in from Canada.
Yeah.
And from Alberta, Canada. And she is a black belt in Taekwondo. She's like, I think a 3rd degree or 4th degree.
Mm.
And she asked permission from the Federation of, the Federation of Taekwondo to give me an honorary 7th degree black belt. In Taekwondo, apparently 7th degree is the highest you can go. It means like you're a master of masters.
Yeah.
So on it, she flew into the seminar. Halfway through, she presented this to me. And it was actually, there's like the gift of like, sometimes clients get you like really expensive gifts. Like I've gotten a really nice Rolex as a gift. I've been given timeshares, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I've been given cars, which is
Really?
like awesome.
Yeah.
But still, I like gifts that have meaning because
Cool.
I can hang that up and I can remind myself of that.
Yeah.
That there are people, and when you're doing your own thing, I'm obsessive with how I do things. So I don't ever stop and think about like, how am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, am I any good? Like, no, I'm rolling. I'm rocking and rolling for 20 years now.
Yeah.
So when she gave this to me, like it has my name on one side and it has like mindset on the other side with a 7 on it, like this Roman numeral 7. And that's let me know that to her in her mind, and what I've done for her in her life.
Yeah.
Is like, I am a master of masters. And
That's cool.
and I hate to brag, but that literally is what I've been getting from a lot of people. When a leader of a country says that to you and they hire everyone to help.
Right. Yeah.
And they want you to move to their country so you can work with them for 2 straight years and you have to decline because you don't want to move to that country. Then, it's cool. And I'm blessed with that. With mindset work that I've done with people, I get a lot of that. With marriage stuff, I see that compounded. So I see how it affects the wife,
Mm-hmm.
the husband, and the kids. I can't say how many times I work with the guy or the girl, the woman in the relationship, and then I end up working with the other partner. And then I work with the kids. And then I work with their mother. And then I work with their best friend. And then I work with their partners, their business partners. It moves fast and they have no problems being like, hey, you got to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Because even in one conversation, I'll show them things about themselves that they know is true. And it's not some filler, emotional, dramatic story. It's like I can see things that they never knew someone can see. And from there, like, hey, if you have these problems, this is how I'm going to fix it. You tell me what you want to do.
Yeah.
And at that point, they're like, why would I just sit in the problem if I could just fix it?
Right. Yeah. Dude, I love it. Okay, one more question for you.
Yep.
I know. It went by so
was fast.
fast. Describe in one word the feeling of breaking a world record.
One word.
One word.
I don't know what the word is. In one word.
One word.
Galactic.
Galactic. Nice.
Because it just feels like
Yeah.
you're on a whole different planet. You're like, oh my, like
Yeah.
when you break it, normally if you're spending $8,000 per day for the Guinness World Record guy to come to you and measure everything and present it to you,
Yeah.
I didn't have $8,000.
Yeah.
I did it myself, which is a laundry list of things you have to do first.
Got it.
And you're kind of by yourself when you break it.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't matter. When I broke it the first time, I felt the best.
Okay.
No one was there.
Yeah.
I had cameras set up. I had witnesses. I had the right people to witness it and everything.
Yep.
So minimal amount of people.
Right.
When I broke it the second time, it was in a packed gym on like a Wednesday night, like 5 p.m. And the whole gym, it was like 100-something people were like clapping and like cheering at the end. And then like they announced my name over the intercom, and that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the best. The best was the first time. I was like, I never felt that elated.
Yeah.
About myself, even though it only took three months of work.
Damn.
It's not that long compared to like a business.
Right. Right.
So that felt the best.
That's amazing. Chris Bolger, thanks for coming on the podcast, man. Where can people find you?
thesavedmarriage.com.
thesavedmarriage.com. Thanks again, man. This has been the Logan Fields Podcast. I'll see y'all next time.